Hey everyone, what's up? I am going to be making a quick tutorial on how to use Wufoo forms. You can see that I made a video about this back in August, but it was lengthy and I just want to add some more stuff to that because Wufoo has changed a little bit, and I have some new thoughts and ideas for the Wufoo account. Or the Wufoo forms. So basically, what is Wufoo? Wufoo is going to be something that is so beneficial for your Beachbody business. I use them a lot on my like pages, and let me just show you how I use these. So you'll see, like, just in my cover, it'll say click here. Well, when you click here, this is just going to take you to the description. Again, when you make these, you cannot make a clickable link through Canva or anything like that, but you can make them click on this by saying click here. But you'll see that I put the link here for my Wufoo form and the link down here. And I don't say anything about what program we're doing or anything in this post per se, but in some of them I will, and I'll say, you know, if you're interested in 21-day fix, or if you're interested in coaching, please fill out this form. But for this one, it's kind of like, you know, they're kind of going in a little blindly, but they know that they'll be given a program and a plan. So for this one, when you click on it, I ask for a lot of information because I don't know a thing about them, and they don't know kind of what they're getting themselves into. But if they're taking the time to fill out this form for me, then I know that they're serious. And that's what I found is the best thing about the forms. Not only does it keep, you know, everything really, really organized for us, but it also helps them kind of realize that it is important for them to be doing a challenge, because it's kind of almost like a reflection exercise on themselves when they start answering these questions. So whenever they go click on the form, it will take them to this. Now, I actually have an area here that asks them to put their Facebook URL. I might change that in the future because I'm not finding it to be like that beneficial. I am moving everything, and I mean everything, to email. And I've done that for the last week, and it has been absolutely amazing. My productivity has gone up immensely, and my responses have went up. And I think that's because a lot of people, they get on Facebook, they get distracted, they're not giving me their full attention. And also, people work. They can't have their phones on them and be checking Facebook, or they can't check Facebook at work, but they can their email. So I get a lot of email responses. Even when I ask people to send me messages through Facebook, it's not easier. I thought it was easier, but messages get lost, and I can't keep up with that. So once you get to a certain point where you feel like you can't keep up with your inbox, you've got to switch to email. You know, you can do whatever you want. It's totally up to you. But for me, Facebook, we don't own Facebook. We don't own anything on Facebook. So if it disappears, so do all of our conversations. So does everything. I mean, for whatever reason, if you happen to lose your Facebook account because of whatever, you've now lost all of your contacts. So how would you be able to follow up with people? I mean, your business would pretty much be sunk. So for me, building my email list has been huge, because people are starting to use email more and more now that Facebook messaging has been kind of an issue with people. So anyway, I ask some questions down through here. I don't make the phone number required. Here's just an example of what I use. Now, this is specifically for the Sweating for the Wedding challenge, and I'll share what I ask in my questions with everyone and share this example. But this is huge. Do you already have a Beachbody coach that you currently work with? This is so important because, you know, the Wufoo forms are great because I can ask all of these questions that would normally take me 7 or 8 messages of back and forth with a potential client, where they don't have the time to do that, and I don't have the time to do that. I know we all work full-time, most of us, or we just don't have the time to do that. And I feel like people are much more likely to answer these questions truthfully within this form setting, because it's almost like they're kind of in their zone while they're filling this out. So to be honest, if somebody clicks, yes, I do have a coach here, and I see that on the form that I receive, they are going to go to the bottom of my list of my follow-ups. And that's not wrong. You know, it's smart, because our time is valuable, and I have to make sure that I am doing things that are most productive to my time. And so people who check no, that they don't have a coach, those are the people that I am most likely going to contact first. Now you'll also see down here at the bottom, I ask about coaching. If they select yes here, they're going to the top of my priority list. Now that can change based on where you are at in coaching. For me, I'm interested in getting go-getters on my team. So if they say yes to this, then they're going to the top, whether or not they do have or don't have a coach. And the reason for that is a lot of them don't know their coach. They don't connect with their coach. They're not interested. Why would they be filling out my form if their coach is helping them, you know? And so if they say, yes, they have a coach, and yes, they're interested in coaching, they go back up on my list. So just base it off priority as you go. This is really important for diamond coaches and above to really prioritize what you're looking for. Okay, so I also like to ask if they've done any type of Beachbody programs. And that is important because if they select no up here at the top, that they do not have a coach, but then they say, I've done this, this, and this, well, they probably do have a coach, but that coach has never contacted them. So I always, in the message that I send to them, say, hey, I noticed that you did T25. How'd that go? Did you have a coach that was working with you at that time? And then you can dive into that a little deeper. And then I also have them check any of these that apply. Almost always we have at least 3 or 4 of these checked or more. And the reason I like to have this is because this gives me a general background of where they're at. I'm asking their goals. I'm asking their struggles. I'm asking what they're currently doing. It's like a reflection for themselves. And when they have to write this out, they're like, crap, I'm not doing anything. I don't have support right now. I'm really running into a lot of challenges. Are these excuses? Are these challenges? So it's almost like a self-reflection for them. And that's why I really like these forms, because people open up. People who don't know me open up on these forms. So anyway, then when they check these, it's almost like a check mark that's like a dagger to them every time they have to check these off. Do I want them to feel that way? Absolutely not. And some of this stuff is stuff that they've dealt with their whole lives. But if they're going through here and they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, and they're checking these off, it's like, oh my gosh, am I going to send her this with all of these on there? And some do. And so whenever I get it, I can say, I see that you have some health issues. Are these concerning to you? It just gets me in a state where I can ask them questions. Just like if you were going to see a nutritionist or you're going to see any type of medical doctor, they're going to ask you about this stuff. And I want them to know that I place importance on this and we place importance on that. So anyway, that's the form. Once they submit it, this is where it goes. So it goes to my inbox. You can see that there's one that someone has done there, but I'm just going to go to some old ones here. And I save all of these. I'll show you in our Gmail training that I'm going to be doing the best ways that I've found to save these and be able to go back to these. So for example, let's just click on the very first one. I open this up and you can get this sent to your phone. You can get it sent to your email, whatever works. But I open this and the first thing I see is no, she doesn't have a coach. Okay. She's provided me her phone number when she didn't have to, so she's very open with me. I don't know her personally. I know that. I want to be fit and healthy and have more energy. I would love to have a six-pack underneath my wedding gown and have toned arms to show off as I walk down the aisle. I want to have more energy and be more active. But she says that her biggest challenges are time and energy, and she works 14-hour days, and her fiance has been laid off. So I already know that time is going to be an issue and price is going to be an issue. I'm trying to eat healthy and I run and try to work out when I have the time or energy. I try to eat. So I see a lot of tries. So this shows me that she really is trying. It's not that she's lazy, but she's trying to do the best that she can. I also see that she has done, or she owns, I actually asked, do you own a program? Because that's going to tell me that she said, no, I don't have a coach, but she owns this program. So she could have owned it before coaching existed, or she might have a coach and she doesn't know it. And then I see all of these. So in my response to this, how would I follow up? I would create a message and just drag this here. And this is how easy you can do this. I have this pulled up over here, what she's put into the message or into the form. And and I'm going to show you this all in our Google Gmail training. But you can save responses or you can use scripts, whatever you want to do. And I don't have my sweating for the wedding scripts in here yet, but I know that I do have a sweating for the wedding script that I plan on adding. So I'm just going to do this one, script number 2, and this is just the steps in my script. So there's one, and I put that in there. Now what I'll do is go back to her message and make sure that I fill in any loose ends. I will share your scripts with me and we'll go from there. You always want to make sure when you're emailing them back after they fill out a form that you ask a question at the end of that email to make sure that they respond in some way. So then that way it's much easier. Now you'll also see that it automatically shows me that she has a Google Plus account or a Gmail, which I know she does, but I can add her to my circles. So what do? I actually added her to, or I didn't add her, but I will, to my brides-to-be. Now what's going to happen is she can't see these here, what these are labeled. All it will do is send her a message that says, so-and-so has added you, Brooke has added you to her circle. And she's going to see that and be like, oh, okay, she's seen my message and she's going to reply, or she has replied. If they don't reply, then you can go back in there and, uncheck this and check it again, and she'll see that you're following her. So they'll get an update on that. And I think I actually got one of those today. Let me see. Added you back. Because if you add someone and they add you back, I can't see it right now, but usually in the social area it'll show up. But anyway, that's another little trick. So how do you make these forms? Let's get on to how to make these. So you will go to Wufoo.com, and I'm just going to create a free account because I want to do this so that you guys can see what it will look like when you're doing this. Now I may have created, let's see. Okay, I didn't already create an account. Good, because I thought I had. Okay, so I don't have any forms. Let's go make one. So you go to new form, and this will be fancy pants stuff just because it's easy to add in there. So you'll do that, and then let's see. I want email. I want phone. And that's pretty much it. If you're doing a sweating for the wedding, I want to ask their wedding date. So you can add that in there. And then I know that I'm going to ask a few questions that are that. And let's do, I think, one more. Oh, and then I know here I want to add underneath multiple choice. And if it goes down here, you just slide it up here. And then I want to add some check boxes. So let me go down here and some check boxes down here. Okay, so let's start here. So we know we want their name to be required. I'm going to click that. Email, absolutely required. No duplicates, so I'm not getting people filling out the form a million times to just use them up. Date, maybe that could be like if you're not using, asking when their wedding date is, you could even ask what their birthday is. That would be really awesome to keep track of people's birthdays if you really want to be OCD and do that, but I'm not going to do that. So let's put here, I'm going to put wedding date, if applicable. There we go. And that doesn't have to be required. Also, make sure that you title your form, whatever it is, so they know what they're doing. Please fill out this form to be considered for the group. Okay. And I've noticed that when you say considered, like I said, for whatever reason, they think it's more important and they're going to do it more often. For this section, I think that's where I like to put, and I'll send you an example of mine so you can just copy and paste this. Again, I'm going to take out what's the best way to contact you because email is the only way I'm contacting them, but you can put that in there if you want. Do you have a coach that you currently work with? So I want that to be right here. And you know what? I'm just going to copy and paste because this is what you're going to be doing, because I'm going to be sending you an example of this form. Okay. And then here for first choice, no, yep, I have no idea. And one more, Brooke, that's me, is my coach. Okay, so there's that. And then for this section, I want to say, what are your goals? If it's not for a wedding challenge, then you just put, oops, wrong one. You can just put, what are your current health and fitness goals instead. Don't know why that's doing that, but anyway, we'll just type it in here. What are your current health and fitness goals? Okay. What challenges have prevented you from reaching these goals in the past? Okay. And I'm going to say past or present. Present. And I'm going to add here, because I've started doing this with my personal messages and it's helped a lot. Be specific. The more you tell, let's see, the more you tell me, the more I can help. Now I want that to be here. And then here, also share any other important info I might need to know. Okay, and then let's see here, we have, okay, what are you currently doing? Are you currently doing as far as health and fitness and or exercise? Okay, and then here is where I ask about, I believe, let me check. Yes, what programs? So first choice, I'm going to put P90X. Let's see. Do you own any of these programs? I'm just going to quickly do this. And I try to list the most popular ones. Insanity, Turbo, Fire. Let's see, Pio. I would stick to some of the older programs because a lot of these people aren't going to be as familiar. Yeah, we'll just do that. And then I'll also do T25. That was a popular one. And then on this one, another Beachbody program not listed. Or I think I put, no, I don't own. Do not own any Beachbody programs. All right, so, and then I'll put check all that apply. And this is required, and so are all of these. And you can actually make these smaller, like if you don't want them to, like we know this one can be smaller because they're not going to share as much. I want that one to be bigger so they feel like they should share more. What are your current health and fitness goals? Again, I'm going to keep that bigger so they want to share more. Required. Okay, so I've got everything. Oh, I want to definitely make sure this one is required. Okay, and then if I want to add another field, like on this one, I have check all that apply to your current health and fitness status. You can just duplicate this and then just change the, you can change this to 2 columns or 3 columns. If you want to do 3 columns, you can do that so it's not as long. Or you can do, instead of check boxes, you can do all the other stuff. Let's see what I have listed here. Low energy, GI issues, GI issues, acid reflux. I'm just going to add just all kinds of stuff here. Diabetes, type 1, 2, fatigue, thyroid issues, bloated, high blood pressure, heart disease, and you could even make this, you know, history in the family if you want to do that. Overweight. I'm actually even going to add acne and migraines, headaches, frequent. Okay, and I do that because I have experience with those, and I know Shakeology helped me with that. Significant health issues. Okay, so there we go. We've got that, and then I also want to add, oh, I forgot the free one. You can only do 10 sections. So if that's all you want, you can do that. Now on mine, I was allowed to do more. So I asked, have they tried Shakeology before? Then I also asked if they were interested in coaching. So if you want to ask if they're interested in coaching, what I would do is probably delete this, because we don't need the wedding date. Oh, it won't let me delete it. So I'm actually going to go, I wonder why it won't let me delete it. Okay, well, I'm going to save my form, and then I'm going to delete it, because that's what it says I have to do. Okay, so delete. We don't need that. And then down here, I'm going to add a field. I am going to add a multiple choice. And this is where you could say, tell your story. You know, whatever it is, your story about you and coaching, use it to your advantage. And then at the bottom, just type in, would you like more information about this? Again, you don't need to do that, but you can. Or you can say something like, if you don't want to do that, you could do, let's see. You don't want to be as open. You could say, would you like more information about becoming I don't want to use Team Beachbody, a coach, because if you say Team Beachbody, red flags go up, or they might end up, you know, researching it and then not contacting you. Becoming a coach and earning, I would just say that. Would you like information on becoming a coach at no cost, risk-free? A coach to coach others and earn an income, or become a coach to hold yourself more accountable at no cost, risk-free. First choice, yes. And I like to make these really positive, because then when you see them in the Wufoo form, you really feel like they're saying, oh, no, not at this time. And let's see. Let's say maybe I need more info. Not at this time. Okay, there we go. And that is also required. This is required. Everything's required. There we go. So I am going to save the form. Go to continue editing. And then in form settings, you're going to see down here, it'll say show text. Whenever it's done, you can, you can't customize this message if you have a free account. You can send a confirmation email to the user if you want to, but I don't do that because we're going to contact them anyway. And then you can't redirect them to a website or send them anything, but something will show up that will just say, thanks for filling out the form. If you have the paid for account, which is one of the reasons that I buy this, because I use this for Facebook ads. And that's really important. I'll be talking about this in depth, but it's really important to be able to redirect them to a thank you page. And that's not important to you if you're just starting, but just to keep that in mind in the future. And I think it's like $15.95 or $14.95 a month for the Wufoo account. And I definitely use it enough to pay for it. So there you go. Now that you have your form, you'll go to forms and you'll see that you have 2 more forms. Now, instead of remaking an entire form in the future, you can just duplicate it, go into the duplicated copy. Go in there and edit. Just change this, and it could be 21-day clean eating challenge, which is really 21-day fix challenge. And same information, except you're going to erase the wedding information if I said wedding anywhere. Okay, so go back to the Wufoo, save form. So this is the form here. Now, how you're going to share this is you're just going to click share. And you can either use this, which is going to have your name in it, or I recommend doing a short link by going to bit.ly.com, because it's going to shorten this significantly on your page so that you don't have to worry about it being really long. So there you go. It shortened it quite a bit. And then you're just going to copy it and paste it wherever you want it to be. You can also embed these. So if you have a website, you can embed these forms into your website, embed on WordPress. I don't do that as often, but you can if you want to. And then you can also embed them on Facebook if you'd like to do that. I don't really do that at all either, so you don't have to do that. And then once you have finished doing this, I skipped this step, but this is really important. You want this to go, you have to specify where you want the email to go once they've filled it out. And then what's really cool is once people, let me show you my account, my real one. So this is my real account. So once people start filling out these forms, you'll see what you see here. You also get sent an email, but they've got all of their emails here. So if I ever want to follow up with them, all I've got to do is bulk actions, export. So I can export all of these emails and message them in the future. You can import that into your Gmail, whatever it is that you want to do. But also I have reports. Oh, sorry, wrong one. You can go to analytics here. So I can see, oh, you know what? It's because this one's not going to show a whole lot because it's older, I think. Let me see. This one might. Let's see if this one does. So this has some analytics. So this one was a different form I used somewhere else. I suggest using a different form if you have one that you're using on your like page versus your personal page, because then that way you can see where they're coming from. But you can see that it'll show you where they're located, and then you'll see here where they clicked, refers. So a lot of people just clicked on the link. So it doesn't really show me that they actually came from Facebook. But you can see how many people viewed it. You can see how many people actually took the time to fill it out. There wasn't a very high error on it. The average time it took someone to fill it out was about 8 to 9 minutes. I think that it should be lower than that, so I would make it lower. And then the conversion rate was 3.2, which is kind of low for that one. Let's see what this one, I don't remember if this one, yeah, it's not going to have any analytics. I think, let me see, this one might have, I think over time it deletes, oh shoot, it deletes your analytics. But I've also copied a lot of these. Let's just look at this one. So this had a 12% conversion rate, 21 entries. A lot of people are coming from Safari, and it even shows the cities. Clarksville, Indiana, Carrollton. Like I know a lot of those places are Indiana. So you can see Facebook mobile was 14 of them came from Facebook mobile. So I know that I have to make sure that the stuff I'm using is completely mobile. Or, you know, where I had at the beginning where I showed you that I was having people copy and paste their Facebook URL, it's a lot more difficult from mobile. So I just haven't been doing that. And the average time was 2.51. So that it took them about 3 minutes to fill it out. And then it even tells you the longest ones and the shortest ones or whatever. So anyway, there's some huge benefits with using forms. I highly, highly, highly recommend using them in your Beachbody business. It will help out so much. As you can see, I max mine out, the ones that I use, so I upgrade to use the forms. Like I said, if you really wanted to, what you can do is create 2 different accounts, 2 different emails, so then that way you have 6 forms. You're not going to be able to enter in as much stuff, but that's completely fine. And what you can do is make sure that when you do the notifications that you're sending it to the email that you want it to go to on either one. So anyway, I hope this helps you guys, and I hope that you start utilizing these forms because it really does help so, so much. With the paid for version, you're obviously going to get some more goodies to add in there. So you're going to see on this one, let me go in here and just show you what it looks like when, oh, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. When you go into my form settings, you can see that I'm redirecting them to a website. And this is my thank you page, because I want to make sure they hit this page if I'm doing Facebook ads. So it's really important to me that they go here. Now, this is not what you need to focus on right now if you're a new coach, but if you have been around a while, you might want to check this out. And then I also give them the opportunity to just click to add me to Facebook. And so that makes it just really easy for me to get a lot of friend requests that way. So anyway, oh my gosh, that's totally disgusting. That's what you get for being in the dental field. I'm sorry for people who are not in dentistry who just saw this. Oh boy. Anyway, I hope you guys get some help from this. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye, guys.